Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to start tackling one of the major systems required for getting the car running. In the past we've gotten the car running in terms of firing. It does run, injectors are scaled properly, ECU, etc. works like that, blah blah blah. However, we still don't have a cooling system. We have the radiator mounted, we have the engine, like we have almost everything there. We just need to get the fluid doing its thing. So, in the last video, we talked a little bit about some of the parts we got, but we're gonna go through the full rundown, including all the vibrant parts that we got sitting here on the table. So, let's go through what we got, and we're gonna tell you what we're gonna do. Here, this is a ktuned lower coolant reservoir for K28-2. I'm not sure if these are different between K series models. K24s, K20s sometimes have a little bit of different variation in parts. Don't know if lowers and uppers change that. But we got a lower with the dash 16 and fitting. To complement the lower, we also got an upper from Ktuned. And this is actually the first thing we ordered, but it arrived last. So color me confused on that one. So we got this unit here, and you'll notice that it's actually got a little coolant temp sensor. What this is a D series coolant temp sensor. That it's an 1/8 inch MPT, and it just screws in. It also comes with some block off stuff, and both of these parts do come with the slip fit version, but we're going with AN, so we got the AN part as well, and that's already on there. So we got to put both of these on the car. Once we got all that together, then we need some hose. So, not those kind of hose. So what we do is we got these really trick and quite expensive vibrant pieces here. So I got 3 of these, which is a dash 16 high flow 90 in fitting. So it's a big dog. High flow, so I'm guessing that just means that it just supports, I don't know. But it is a dash 16. And then for the side where it actually goes to the top of the engine, we have a straight. So this is a vibrant and straight. So this part here is a 21016. The other one's a 21996. To go with it, all of it, we bought 5 feet of dash 16. It's almost 9/10 internal diameter, 9/10 of an inch internal diameter hose. Bam. So we got about 5 feet of this, which is probably going to be overkill for what we're doing, because we're literally going like a foot each direction. We might go 2 on the upper, but we got 5 of it here. So we got a bunch of hose. The big thing that we're doing with this, or the reason why we went with the things we did, the lower, we're deleting the heater pipe. So this car does not have any HVAC in it. It has no blower box, it has no heater core, it has no fan, it has nothing. So with that being said, that heater pipe just kind of sticks out past the head and the back, and is actually in the way of our Sidewinder turbo manifold. So this kind of solves that problem, as well as eliminates a whole pipe completely. So this gives us an AN connection, so we can make our own hose, so we don't have to play that stupid mismatch, figure out how to splice together a random hose from the parts bin at the parts store. And it also allows us to delete that pipe easily using the Ktuned parts. First things first, we gotta get our Ktuned housings bolted to the engine and removing that pipe. So in case you're trying to figure out what pipe it is exactly that I'm talking about, back here there's this pipe right here, and it runs underneath the manifold real close to this coolant housing. It kind of comes down right here, and it goes underneath the manifold to the lower reservoir, the lower housing, which is down here. Essentially, it has a bolt point back here, I believe, and it goes under, and then it just kind of hangs out. It connects to the bottom plastic piece. So we're gonna try and get it removed. I kind of used it as a rail to bolt my harness to, so I gotta go through and clip some of these wire ties here, and just get it ready to, yeah. And then that's my lockout. I gotta make a thing to cover it, but yeah. So let's go ahead and let's do the thing. So there's the OEM lower that we're taking off, and the hardware goes with it. So it comes with hex heads, which is nice, and a pain in the ass at the exact same time. So I'm pretty sure this actually goes in maybe like that or something. So we're gonna look at the instructions, because we're not ashamed of looking at instructions when you're building a race car. You'll figure it out. There's instructions on the box. Just scan it. Quit being your pride has nothing to do with it. Just read the instructions, okay? Jesus. Alright, so my initial instincts were correct in terms of how this goes together. Basically, you got two sides of this flange. This flange has one where it has a hole, and then on the other side, it has the same hole, but it's flat. So there's indentations on one side. That side's facing out. Now, on your housing, you have this lip. Well, it's got to come in through the back, and it's got to go in. But you can't do that when you have the end on, so you got to remove that. So don't do as I did. Read the instructions before you start playing with things and slicing your fingers in the process, and just generally not having a good time. So just take your fitting off like so. So again, the notch end out, so you can see right there, it's got like the hole. This is the side facing out towards your radiator, and then this slides through to where the gasket surface is touching the rest of the motor. So it's going to be pointing out like so. So this is that end, that whole area, so that the head of your screws are recessed. And then from there, you can clock this however you wish and clamp it down. At this point, we're going to go ahead and put this guy back in, because it's time. There you go, just like that. Now you just use your screws, Allen heads, you just bolt it right to the motor. And make sure you get the orientation right. I'm still trying to figure that one out myself. Oh yeah, another thing worth mentioning, this also has a port for like a thermostat or switch, or some other sensor if you want to just monitor your coolant temps. You can do that here too. Just make sure you tighten it, because it's not exactly tight right now, I don't think. I can see the O-rings, so just cinch it. So I was wrong about the coolant pipe, and I can't see because my fat ass intercooler's in the way, so I'm gonna remove my fat ass intercooler. Pisses me off. For the record, that was gonna have to happen anyways for when we do charge pipe, so not that bad. Hey, remember that time I said you can put that piece back on because we were done now? We have to take it back off because it's now blocking a bolt that I have to tighten. So I'm an idiot times 2. Be a YouTube person, they said. It would be fun, they said. Commit mistakes, they said. Cut your fingers 1,000 times, they said. I'm a mechanic. It'd be fun, they said. Lower's in. Look closely. This is little gap, medium gap, and then down there behind the spout is the big gap on a K20A2. Some bitch. Now, in order to make sure we got the angle of the dangle right, we're going to make up a hose. So in order to do this, we're going to bust out the AN fittings. We're going to make a 90 to 90 so that way we can get it situated right, and then we'll clamp it up properly and everything. So first things first, we need a 90 on the end of the hose so we can see how we can make that work. So let's do that. So we're gonna need a 90 fitting. This is the 21996 vibrantperformance.com. You can get them at Summit, you can get them at Jags, you can get them at some other places. Locally in Arizona, Phoenix, Chandler area, SDHQ sells these, and I'm sure probably like Speedway does as well if you're on the west side. Super trick, super easy. So, like any other non-PTFE style hose, if you don't know how to do AN, it's super simple. This is so big, it should just like go. It should just go right. It should fall in. I've used some Summit brand ends before. Some of the Summit brand ends I've had before don't quite fit in the ends. So Vibrant, I'm hoping. I've never used Vibrant. This is my first Vibrant end. Hopefully, is a good piece of whatever. You got your hose end here, and you're gonna go ahead and just feed it in. Now see that right there, that's quality. And then you're just gonna kind of spin it on. The edge of the hose on the inside, you can't really see because it's just dark. You're gonna kind of force feed it because there's a barb in there that kind of holds it. So you're gonna force it in there until the hose is backed up against the lip where the threads are on the inside of the collar piece. If you have too many problems, you can put this piece in a vise with some aluminum jaws, and you really get to twist the hose in there. Or if you're like me, we can just clamp this to the table and then put all the weight on the end because we ain't got a vise. So once you have the end, let me show you. You can see now here, if you look, if the camera will focus. So now you can see the edge of the hose is almost like right up against those threads. That right there, that lighter gray part, that's the hose. So it's pretty well pressed up in there. And if you stick your finger in, you'll feel it like a bump, right? That's how you know you're in the right place, because you want it to press against that bump when you stick the tapered section in next. So to make this step easier, you can put lube on this. I just spray a little WD-40 on it just because it is a little bit oily and it works just fine. Just do that, you get it in there, and you just have to press it until you get the threads engaged, and just make sure it doesn't back off the hose as you're moving forward. Like I said, a little WD, just not a lot, you don't need a lot, you just enough to just make it a little bit slippier. And you're just gonna get it in there and just start going. You gotta really get it in there to get started, it seems. And then get a big ass wrench. You're gonna need two for these, but yeah, because this is a like a slip fit kind of thing. So I need to. At this point, you just gotta tighten the connection. If you're squeamish about people using anything other than aluminum wrenches on AN fittings, look away, because it's gonna get ugly. This is a big ass wrench, and it's not big enough. That is. So that big ass wrench ain't gonna cut it, and that's like the biggest wrench I have. So we're gonna get ugly with it, because we gotta do something. However, it's not gonna be pretty. Hey there, it's Patrick with Garage Rats. This is your public service announcement to go get a vise. Now. Don't wait. If you don't have them, go get one. Otherwise, you're gonna end up clamping your connector, your Dash 16 Vibrant, your $50 fitting, to a fucking table with a microfiber protecting it from scratching, because you thought that the Monster Crescent was gonna fit. You thought wrong. Oh, and get the aluminum jaws and the aluminum wrench kit too. You're welcome. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Garage Rats. Did I mention that this connector is $50? One. 1 AM fitting. And mine now has channel lock marks all over it. God, this is not the right tool for the job. Every time I clamp it, I hear more of the fitting just scrape. I don't want to keep doing this with this. Oh, it's just so bad. Like, I just wish this was just a smidge more openable. Ah, like, come on. Why do I have to buy a bigger wrench? All right, we're gonna make a field trip real quick. We'll be right back. All right, so I didn't get any AM wrenches at Harbor Freight, but I did get this, which is slightly bigger than the previous wrench. This is a 15 inch. 15 inches. It's a big bitch. Let's finish this one. Huh. Okay, so this alone is not gonna do it, so let me bust out what else I bought. I bought a winch finally. It's cute, it's tiny. It's gonna do the job. But just hold cables. Okay. So now we just tighten these down. Oh man, now we're marring up the other side because it slipped out of the vise. Fuck. This is where you really need that aluminum block. One day we'll be in the right world to do this without scratching the shit up. Okay. It's not bad, I messed up. So there's one half. I destroyed that E edge, but whatever. It's one half of it right there. Yeah, buddy. Okay, let's see how it fits. Okay, so if you can see any of this, we're going from right here on the radiator to right here on the housing. So I'm gonna put this end on the radiator side. Sure, something like that. Now, the other end we're gonna put on the housing here. Take off the end of that hose. Put at least enough to where I can see where I'm going. And we're gonna mark it, and we'll cut it. I don't know if these are big enough to do it. They are pretty freaking big. A lot of people will probably tell you that this doesn't work. However, I will be the one to tell you it does. These are like heavy duty wire cutters for electricians. These are made by Klein. You just go like that. So I did find, when I was having issues getting that last little bit done, clamp your hose, maybe, like so. Use a rubber mallet. So when you can't get anywhere from pushing, get a rubber mallet. Just seats it really quick. Then we're back to this number. We're just gonna try and be nice with it, not kill it this time. Now that we've got the right size wrench. Almost there. That's it. That's it. Much better. Look at that. That end has got like minimal here versus this side, which is like eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. But this is what I was talking about, is like being able to adjust the two ends even after it's made, so they're the same. Now they're 180. It's okay. So there you go. So now we can put it in the car. So we're gonna take the Wolverine rabbit piece and we're gonna put it here so it's hopefully harder to see. Underneath the manifold there. Fingers crossed. Get all this hand tight first. So there's that. And then we're gonna rotate this end to match. Looks like it's a little long. That sucks. I hate it when it's like this. So let's do the radiator side first, and there we go. It's probably not the most elegant, beautiful thing in the world, but it gets coolant from there to there in the shortest path possible, and I'm all for that. So now we just gotta tighten these down, and then this is done. And this is where ADD kind of steps in and goes, hey, stupid, you should have waited to start this project until you finished your charge pipe. And yeah, I mean, yeah. But you know what, it's okay. We're gonna figure it out anyways. So we're going to grab some of the charge pipes parts and see what we can rule out as possible versus impossible. Alright, so you're actively like living in my engine bay at the moment. You're like right on the fuel pressure regulator. This is the intake. Turbo's right here. You can see it just there in the corner. It's kind of go and do some things. So let's start kind of piecing some things together. Okay, so we know at least from here kind of down this way, under this and around is clear. So let's get that piece removed first and then we'll go from there. Well, my camera died again because I sat here forever doing this and we got problems. So I need a thing to go here. So I gotta block this this port here. And while we're at it, since it is so damn cheap, there's the other port back there. Can't really do this number, you can see it. So this little port right here, I think you can see that maybe. This port right here needs to be deleted because we have obviously no heater ports no more because that's what that pipe was. So we're gonna get rid of that. I'm working on a new clip here to try and clean, like hold the harness that way. But ultimately, we're gonna be waiting for a bit. That's like a week to 2 weeks out. And there's not much we could do. Like the only thing I have to do is charge piping in that. Like we could do like a couple things, brakes, wiring, stuff like that, but I think I'm just gonna work on that off camera. So this is gonna be it for now. And in the next video we'll pick back up. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. We'll see you later.